Jackson, and Z. And today we're at the Kennedy Space Center, and I'm going to make a tour for you guys. So let's get into the video. So if you'd like to know, you can go into the Kennedy Space Center for free till December 31st if you're a 10 to an 11-year-old or a 5th grader. And if you can find all this information if you go to the KennedySpaceCenter.com, and you'll find all your information there. So when you go to the park, there's so many awesome things in it, and I took a picture at almost everything cool that we saw because mostly everything there was awesome. So now I'm going to show you some of the pictures that I took. Look at how many rocket ships are here. While we were waiting in line for the bus tour, Z spotted this huge rocket. So we went on this bus tour, which was 45 minutes long, and we saw some cool stuff, which I'm going to show you. So the first thing that we saw was this really big NASA building, and there was this really big American flag on it. And the American flag was almost 21 stories tall. Can you believe that? That's really big. The next thing we saw was called a crawler, and this is what they used to take the rocket ships to the launch pad where they launched them off. Then we saw the most important part. You might think it's just a building, but it isn't. That's where they launched the rockets off. Can you believe it? It's 51 stories tall, and that's really tall too. Next to it was a building called SpaceX, and that's where they designed all the designs for rockets, and also that's where they built them. Isn't that cool? pass up the chance to take a picture with an actual launch pad. Once the trip was over, we arrived at a building, and that's where the actual coolness starts. We found this really pretty picture of a rocket ship. Isn't it cool? Then we found this really big model of the actual first rocket ship in outer space. It was huge. Here I'm comparing an American Girl doll to a huge rocket ship. She's so small, but she grew bigger. This is what it looks like inside an actual rocket ship. Then I met Snoopy the Astro Dog. He's so cool. This is a real space capsule that astronauts actually came back to Earth in. It's so awesome. This is what one of the badges an astronaut receives once they return back to Earth. Here's all the spacesuits, from the first to the last spacesuit. This is an actual astronaut's helmet. Here's the first ever space rover. This is a part of an actual rocket. It's so cool. This is how a space rover looks like today. Here's some more cool stuff about astronauts. Here is this really cool fog thing, and you could go through it. It was so cool. And Z wanted to say hi! Once you go through that smoke, then you go on this ramp, which felt like you're an actual astronaut going onto a spaceship. In front of, once you get off the ramp, it was awesome because it looks like what the inside of a capsule would look like if there were actual astronauts in it. Then I made an engraved penny for my memory of the trip. When we were going back to the main entrance, it started to rain a little bit, but that's okay, because there's still so much cool stuff that we can see inside the buildings. This is the first ever space shuttle that came back to Earth. Its name was Atlantis. This is the back of the space shuttle. This is the side. Here's Z standing under the same space shuttle. And if you go to Kennedy Space Center, you need to see a flying astronaut. There's this really fun game that you controlled with your hands. Then we found a model of a rocket ship, and everything worked except for the part that it didn't fly. So there was this playground tunnel that was supposed to model a space station. I tried to give you guys a tour, but sorry if it's a little shaky because I can't control a camera and crawl at the same time. This is a really tall view of everything inside of a building. Then I found this really tall slide that was supposed to explain how an air shuttle was supposed to land. It was so much fun. I believe I can fly like an airplane and take off into the air, but that doesn't work. We found this really cool game on the floor and I had to play it. We found these guys who are tourists and they kind of looked like pilots. They kind of tried to play the game, but they could barely figure out how to do it. And another space shuttle. This is an astronaut's bathroom on the space station. This is the kitchen on the space station. And this is where the astronauts slept on the space station. Did you know they had to tie their beanbags to the wall so they don't fly away? This is how astronauts sat in the rocket ship. This is the van that took the astronauts to the launch pad before they launched off. Then we looked around in all the gift shops. I hope you guys liked this video. I want you guys to comment down below if you've ever been to the Kennedy Space Center before and what your favorite part about it was, or if you haven't been to the Kennedy Space Center before. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe and turn on notifications for both of my channels. I love you guys.